Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode in our Who Is series. As always, you're joining me today to learn more about the theme behind the spirit of the day. And in so doing, learn more about each spirit, improve our playstyles and enjoyment of the game, and ultimately help us become better spirits. So, hope everybody had a really nice week and you enjoyed whatever it is that you were doing, and that work wasn't too hard and that weather was great wherever you are. And welcome back for another episode. And today we are talking about, you should know from the thumbnail, of course, vital strength of the earth. Now, last week I gave a few clues and I hope that you could figure them out. I think you'll agree. Slow build-up spirit, considered slow-moving, possibly overcosted, but you can't argue with his immense power once he gets going. I think, yep, pretty accurate, but we'll talk about that as we talk about this spirit. So, let's bring up his stuff. There he is. Vital strength of the earth. Who is vital strength of the earth, you may ask? Well, the way I like to look at him is he's kind of the classical, traditional guardian of the land. Okay, he's kind of like the guardian of the earth, grandfather nature. Yeah, you know how you got mother nature? He's like grandfather nature. Slow moving, but protects the land, is the genuine guardian of the land. Okay, if you can get into that mindset, I think you're not too far away from where they were trying to get with this guy. And I think he's really good. He has a bit of a bad rap for being a boring spirit. I mean, look at him. He's so gentle. He's genteel. He's this, he's the lovable granddad that tells you the story, that takes care of you, protects you, but at his pace. But do not mess with this spirit, okay? Because he's slow moving, but he will get you in the end game. Okay, so the invaders should really be wary. I think at first they take advantage of this kind of old man, but then they pay badly for it later because they underestimate his power and his attachment and love to the land. Okay, this guy, he's stone, he's moss, he's a bit of earth, but actually he's all heart. That's how you look at him, okay? So, as always, let's start with the sound effect. I mean, come on. Candelabra, you are knocking this out of the park. I mean, so to me, what I hear is two things, actually. One, I hear, imagine like a boulder, and you've got like an area behind the boulder, and as the boulder moves out of position and rolls out of position, it uncovers this glorious, untouched, beautiful land behind it. You know, stunning and wonderful, something to, embrace the eyesight, as it were, like something really gorgeous. The other thing I hear is a boulder smashing down on the earth, squashing the things below it. Can you hear both? The boulder moving, the boulder smashing. That's kind of what he's about. He's about the beauty and he's about the peace, but he's also about, I can do it, I can hurt as well. Let's talk a little bit more about him, shall we? Let's flip him around. Let's talk about his lore. Okay, so, a spirit of great and unhurried power. Oh, yeah. What was that thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is this guy. Oh, yeah. I'll get there eventually. He is the granddad, okay? Two of my close friends, they call me granddad. They call me granddad because I'm not very good with my techno stuff and whatever. So anytime I ask, how do you do this? Or what button do I click or whatever, they're like, granddad! Come here, granddad. Do this, granddad. This is the granddad spirit. He is granddad nature. Okay, that's what he is. All right. The life that earth yields up to the roots, the ground supporting the life that lives upon it, the patience of seasons and stone. It is not usually a direct benefactor of the Dahan. Rather than giving blessings, it prefers to work in concert with them, lending power to joint undertakings. Currently, it is trying to rouse itself to fight against the invaders, but this swift and direct action runs somewhat counter to its nature. And then there's a lot baked in here. So, first of all, yeah, we've already talked about it. Really unhurried, slow, but powerful. This bit here is basically, look, I'm kind of one with the land. I will heal it. I will try to support it. I can try to re-nourish and regrow it. But I'm patient, and I need to work with that. And you, as the player, need to work with that. He's slow. Work with him. Okay, work with him. This is really key. This is one of those spirits that actually really does use the Dahan. Now, it doesn't, like... It really loves like the Dahan, it does, but it doesn't just use them in a sort of like throw you to the wolves kind of way. It really tries to work, says, look, I appreciate what you have to offer. I will give you the ability to shine. I will give you the ability to do things. And sometimes actually you will help me and amplify my abilities. It's like a concert. It's good. It's a good word. He's working in simpatico with the Dahan. So if you like that idea, you'll like this guy. Takes a bit of finagling and getting used to, but it's definitely there. It's definitely baked in. And finally, he's slow. Okay, he's basically saying, look, I'm trying to deal with these invaders. I'll get there in my own way. I just can't do it the way you might want me to, you fast, nimble people, but I'll get there. Now, starting setup, you are putting 3 presents on your starting board, 2 in the highest numbered mountains, and 1 in the highest numbered jungle. Okay, look at him. He's mostly earth. He's mostly mountain. He's a little bit of green. All right, makes sense. Now, this is important. The 2 in the highest number jungles. There's going to be a lot of this. 2 presence in any land, remember, is a sacred site. He is a sacred site-based spirit. Okay? Very important. Works a lot off of that. Now, in terms of his complexity. Okay. Low, yes. Agreed, he's low. But baked into that, I think, is a hidden, probably moderate complexity. He needs to create sacred sites. He's slow growing. That takes some planning. That takes some difficulty. You can't just spread out too quickly. End game, if you imagine the end game state where he is all over the island, especially on a solo board, easy. Low complexity, nothing to worry about. He's not very mind taxing, but in order to get that state and develop it, you need a little bit more prep work than you think you might need. So you need to be aware of the state in the game that you're in, and you need to be able to work towards that to generate that end game. So there's a little bit of baked in moderate complexity, but yet on the whole, I would agree, he's a low complexity spirit, especially compared to some of the others. So summary of powers, like, okay, first of all, offense, yeah, it's pretty low. He is not like, his nature is not offensive, okay? He's not someone who's going to be attacking a lot. He does have the ability to, and the Dahan can make him a little bit more powerful. Onto that later. But his offense is a bit mild. A lot of his offense comes from the Dahan, all baked into the defense. His defense is where he's totally at. He's there to defend the land, classically, traditionally defend the land. Okay, what do I mean by that? You've got a Dahan, okay? That Dahan is, actually, we'll talk about this later. Let's talk about this later. Let's not complicate this now. Defense is the key, okay? He is defense. He has counter-attack from the Dahan. That's what he has. Counter-attack from the Dahan. So his offense is baked into his defense. His control, he's got a card that can move some explorers and some Dahan. A little bit of control there, a little bit of setup. Fear, next to none. Utility, amazing innate power that is very, very rarely used, but if it is used on and can be used on other spirits, it can be incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. And I suppose the other utility is, look, he can remove blight, and he has, in my opinion, the most powerful card in the game, which can absolutely just stop a land from doing anything. Really, really, really quite powerful. So, summary, defense, counter-attack damage through defense with some control and some utility, very potent utility. Very, very little fear. Okay, let's flip him around. Okay, onto his growth options. So again, what's the theme embedded in the growth options? And the way I see this is, okay, so look, he's Grandad. Okay, he is Grandad nature. He is Grandad Guardian, Guardian Grandad, whatever you want to call him, okay? So he takes a while. He takes a while to get moving. He only has limited energy in order to do stuff. In order for him to move to another land far away, okay, so this is his growth option, far away, he has to take time to regain his energy, to regain all of his cards. He can't gain new energy. He can't gain new power cards. He has to reclaim that which he already has. He's put it somewhere. He has to find it again. Where are my glasses? He's saying he has to find it again. In that way, he can move. He can't do both. Okay, he can't do too much too quickly. So it's quite difficult. And interestingly, he's a pick one spirit that has 3 growth options. Each one of them, he's actually adding presence from the board. But you'll see, this one is the only one he can add it at quite a distance. This one is the complete opposite to this growth option. Here he says, look, I will do new stuff. Okay, hey little Johnny, let's do something new. I've got some energy to spend with you. Hey, tell me about your day. Tell me this, tell me that. But you know what? Let's do it whilst I'm sitting in my favorite chair. I don't want to move too much. I'm going to only go into the land I'm already in. All right. So this is his way of saying, let's uncover new land. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the bottom of the garden. Let's show you this and that. But I kind of need to regain my energy later. I don't have time to learn anything new. This is his way of saying, look, I'm learning new things, but I need to be right where I am. Again, slow moving, ready to do stuff, but in his own way. And this is a little bit of an in-between. He's like, okay, I'll move a bit, but you've given me some food, so I've got a bit more energy. That's kind of his in-between, okay? And you know, I love it. Who doesn't love the granddad and the grandma that is just so kind and welcoming, and we all love our granddads and grandmas. They're the most precious in the world, right? So of course that it really feeds on that, I think, so much, and that's embedded, I think, in its growth options. Presence tracks, goodness gracious, look at this. Some of the greatest in the game. Energy goes up to 8. I mean, only, I think, Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds and maybe Serpent Slumbering Beneath the Island have higher energy tracks. I mean, this is insane. 8 energy. How does it get compensated? Surely like 1 or 2 card plays. No. 4 card plays. So at the end, if you've removed all his presence, he is a boss. I mean, there is almost no one better. 8 energy, 4 card plays. This is mad. All right, but in order to get there, takes time because of the growth options, and also because his energy track goes up steadily with a little bit of a jump as well, from 2 to start with, to 3 to 4 to 6 to 7 to 8. That's pretty amazing. His card plays, though, he really stutters. It's difficult for him to get there. Okay, so he stays at 1 card play, then he goes and stays at 1 card play, then eventually goes to 2, and it's such annoying that I can't move this stuff here, but look, then he stays at 2, so he goes 1, stays at 1, goes to 2, stays at 2, then 3 and 4. Okay, so again, a lot of theme here. Brilliant energy tracks, brilliant presence tracks. Okay, now his special rule. This is where a lot of the fun you can have with this guy is baked in. He naturally defends in a sacred site land for 3. That's it. No card needs to be played. No innate power, no threshold. He will natively and naturally defend that land for 3, traditional defense, in a land where there's a sacred site. How very different from something like Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds, which said, I'll make a sacred site and get the hell out of my land, Dahan. He's saying, Vital Strength of the Earth. Ugh, don't listen to Keeper. I'll make a sacred site. Stay here. Don't worry. I'll defend you. And that's where his counterattack kind of ability comes in, where he can use the natural ability of the Dahan, but he can protect them. And this is what I was intimating in the summary of powers. Imagine you got a Dahan, okay? Nice, gentle Dahan. In come the invaders, and they're going to damage the Dahan. The Dahan doesn't know what's going on, and before it knows it, is destroyed. It would fight back, but is destroyed before it can do anything. With Vital Strength of the Earth, with Earth's vitality, he creates a shield around that Dahan. The invaders come, try to attack. Vital Strength of the Earth says, don't worry, little one. You are protected. He guards the land. He's a guardian. He's a protector. And then the Dahan say, have at thee! And go get at the invaders. Yeah? So, now onto his innate power. Gift of Strength. This is an incredible power, but actually, in most solo games I play, I tend to very rarely, if ever, actually utilize this. Now, in multiplayer games, this can be very, very helpful, and actually I think is where most of his utility is. Basically, it's a way to enable any spirit, including yourself, you choose them, to repeat one of their power cards at a particular energy cost. So the first threshold is 1 or fewer of an energy cost, 1 or less energy cost. The second threshold is up to 3 energy or less. And the last threshold is a card costing up to 6 energy or less. And you get to repeat that. Now remember, repeating means you use the effect of the card again as though it's the first time. So you choose the land, and as long as you adhere to all the restrictions and the ranges and so on, you can choose the land again. It doesn't have to be the same land. So you could choose one card, cast it on one land, and then if this ability triggers, you can play that card again, but in a different land, as long as you adhere to the restrictions. This is really, really helpful. But again, I have to say, in a solo game, tend not to use it too much. So this is a nice to have ability, very powerful, great power in his tool kit, but more amplification of what he already can do very well. Doesn't absolutely need to rely on this. So you don't have to use this innate power, which enables you to draft cards that maybe don't naturally fit in with these thresholds, and you don't really mind too much. Now, onto his power cards. First thing to see, every one of them, except one, costs 3 energy. These are your unique cards, and they cost you 3. This is what I meant about him maybe being slightly overcosted. But again, I think it makes sense thematically. He's powerful, but he's slow. He's not planning to play loads of cards off the bat. He's not planning to play that many cards at all. He's not so he's going to use his energy to just play the one. He might as well make each card count. He might as well make each card do something pretty awesome. And that it does. So let's go to the first one, the Year of Perfect Stillness. Now, I love this artwork because in each one of these artworks, Vital Strength of the Earth appears. Here he is here. And look, is this us? Is this us as the player looking down? Is this maybe a Dahan that he is, taking care of? It's just so evocative. I love it. And look at this beautiful sunshine background. It's just beautiful. So from a range of 1, this is, in my opinion, the most powerful unique card in the game. I mean, there is potential for another one, I think, but this is unbelievable. Skip cards are incredible because they basically stop an invader action. So invader skip cards, sorry, I should have said invader skip cards, skip an invader action, whatever that may be, whether that is a ravage that's going to happen on that land, whether that's build or an explore. They skip an action. This card skips every action in that land, including ones that are generated through events. As long as they're invader actions, it skips everything. So if a land were in a crazy setup, about to be ravaged, then going to be built upon, and then will be explored upon, you can in one turn stop every single action because of one card in that one land. And if you can repeat it here with this thresholded second threshold here, you get to do that in another land. Incredibly powerful card. Very, very expensive. Next card, Draw on the Fruitful Earth. Cheaper, slow power. It's his maneuverability. It's his control card. You can gather up to 2 perhaps newly placed explorers and gather up to 2 Dahan. Remember, you're a counter-attack defensive spirit. So this is your way to create the setup required to do the damage in the Ravage phase if you can defend that land. This also can stop lands from becoming an issue if you can stop them from exploring. And, again, looking at the artwork closely, there he is. Vital Strength of the Earth. Just sort of drawing of the fruitful earth. He's, got his hands in there, drawing them, pulling things in. Beautiful, beautiful. Next, Guard the Healing Land. There he is guarding it. He is the guardian. And on this card, although again 3 energy, from a sacred site 1 range away, you get to both remove a blight. So if that land has had a problem with it and blighted, you get to cure that land and defend 4. This is baked into 1 card. This is actually really powerful. Now, there are some minor cards that do similar things, cards that do more defense, 6 defense and for cheaper, but actually, or 4 defense and for 1 cost or whatever it might be. But actually, with no restriction, except for a sacred site, and you make sacred sites, you also get to remove a blight. This is actually really, really powerful. This is his granddad nature kind of aspect to him, okay? His healing of the land and protecting at the same time. And finally, Rituals of Destruction. There he is again with the Dahan around him. This is his card that says, look, I'm going to target a land with the Dahan. I'm going to help the Dahan with some damage. But if there's enough there, I am going to use their power and do even more damage and even some fear. So this 1 card, which costs 3 energy and actually has all the elements you need on it to add to your innate power, as well as quite important elements for potentially thresholds of some powerful majors and minor cards. This card here says, I will potentially kill a town and a city, which will generate me already 3 fear, and I will also generate 2 more fear in that land. So in a solo game, you are generating 5 fear, which is enough for an entire fear card, which can push you over a threshold, which can give you an extra fear card, and clear potentially a land. This is really, really good. So, in summary, what we're left with is, as I said, I think the guardian, granddad, protector of the land. He is granddad nature. He takes his sweet time. He does it as fast as he can, which is not fast, but he will defend the land in his best ways possible. And through the help of the Dahan, he's going to do some major stuff later. And if you get him really going later, don't get in his way, because he is powerful. Okay. Alrighty, now onto the actual demo game, and let's see what we can do. So, see now here, you can see just a note here, reach. This is an aspect for, where is he? This fellow. Oh, he's probably baked into here. That's interesting. It's the first time I'm seeing that. Okay, well, let's just take forbidden, and does that mean this guy? Yeah, okay, so there we go. So shadows flicker like flame. It will show what is already there, which aspect. I wonder if I right click this. Yeah, so I can flip them around, see? Oh, I'm so excited to get there with you guys. Okay, but we're not there yet. Let's do Vital Strength of the Earth. We're on board C. Let's go. Okay. Here we are, starting on this land. Remember, we start on the highest mountain, and they actually explore into the mountains. So, we don't have energy to do any of our card plays except this one, okay, in the slow phase. What are we going to do? Now, we already are naturally defending here for 3. We have no Dahan in this land. We do have Dahan in this land. It would be great to get into this land to defend it, but in order to do that, I'd have to skip 2 lands. The only way I've got that is with this growth option, which means I have to reclaim cards, which is pointless because I have no cards to reclaim. It could be something I'd want to do to set up, but I don't want that. But I also may want to gain an energy, but then I only go in this land. So again, not particularly helpful for right now. This would probably be the best option for me, and it gains me an energy. It could now enable me, therefore, to not go top track straight away and open up the option going bottom. I don't usually do that, but it's an option. So you're immediately thinking, oh, okay, do I want to do something about this land or do I not really care? These are the kind of things you're trying to think about, okay? So I think I'm going to try and play him in the most Guardian aspect way I can. That's my try. So I'm actually going to go with option 3. I usually take this one because I really like getting new cards. I always enjoy it. But I'm going to go with this option. And we're going to go from the bottom track, which is a bit different. I usually go top to get more energy. This may come and bite me in the bottom later, but could I have been more British? Bite me in the bottom! Anyway, I'm going to put this in this land here. I'm going to gain 2 energy, and with my 2 energy gained, I'm also going to have 2 energy here, so I'm on 4 energy. So I can play any card I'd like. I'm actually going to probably just play this card here. The reason I'm going to play this card is because so far I may just draw Dahan into this land, but if I also draw in Explorers, maybe I can draw them out of lands that have a problem. Now, this land is going to build a city, so the total damage at the moment is going to be 6. If I utilize 1 card that I plan to next turn, I will do a total defense in this land of 7, so I can afford to have maybe 1 more Explorer in this land. In fact, maybe 2 more Explorers in this land. So if, for example, Wetlands explore, I could drag both into here and stop these from being an issue the following turn. That's my thinking. And I'm in range of most lands except this jungle. So let's see what happens. We kind of want Wetlands to explore next. That's sort of what we're looking for. So let's see what happens. So they're going to build on the mountains. And hey, we are rewarded. Okay, so at the moment, this land is doing 6 damage. Okay, so we're going to cast this into this land. All right, we're going to draw these 2 in, and we're going to draw. This is interesting. Cultural assimilation is an event which changes a Dahan that is adjacent to a land that has a city in it. If that event is drawn next turn, any one of these, whichever way I do this, is going to be changed. But since this land has a blight in it, I'd rather not have a problem with this land. So I'm going to draw this into there. Okay. And I've just fixed that land, so I might as well have this open here. Okay. So that was my play there, and I still have 3 energy. So this turn, I can actually gain a power card, gain 2 energy, and still have enough energy to play 1 card, and if I open up this track, a 2nd card that perhaps I will now generate. I won't have enough energy to play 2 cards that I have in my hand because I won't have the energy for it. So, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to do this one. We're going to gain new power, but it takes so much energy from me, I can only go where I already am. Okay? Remember, Granddad Guardian. Okay, so we're going to gain a power card. So let's see what we gain. Defense is always good, and we got a great defense. Okay, so we have another defense. We have the ability to manipulate blight. We have the ability to manipulate in the fast phase things that we can't easily deal with. I really like this card too, and this is another version of that. It's actually quite tough to choose here, but I think defense, because he's Guardian, is the way to go. And we're going to have a lot of sacred sites, and this land thing says a range from a sacred site, from range 1 away. So let's take this. It also helps us generate a bit more fear, and we lack fear. So now we're going to add presence from the bottom track into this land. So we have immediately, do you see what happened? We immediately there generated a sacred site. We now have a natural defense of 3. This should mean, assuming the events aren't going to increase the damage done in lands by invaders by any amount, this should mean that this land is fully defended, which will knock it off. Now, this land at the moment is defended for 3 as well, because I have a sacred site. But we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So I need at least 7 defense in order to defend this land fully. Again, assuming that no additional damage is added. Let's hope I don't get that, okay? So I'm going to do guard the healing land. I'm going to play that into this area here. And because I picked this up, I could have chosen this one. In fact, it might actually be better to choose this one because it's still 4 defense and I get to push up to 1. If I play 1 more card, I could use rituals in this land, but I'm going to store and bank the energy. So I have the option to play 2 cards, but I'm not using them. And because I picked up this defense, it's cheaper than this one, and it defends for 4 as well. So I'm still doing the total 7. So we'll play this one instead. Okay, we're playing this into this land here, and that's it. Let's see what happens next. Choose a sacred site, gather 1 explorer into one of its lands, and add 1 additional. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay, so this is a problem, but because I have a sacred site here, so if I had to have done it here, this 8 damage would have gone to 9, and I wouldn't have been able to defend it properly. But here, I'm doing 3 damage. I'm defending for 3. I can allow 1 more damage to go through. So I'm going to do it here. Add a disease to a jungle or land with the most. Okay, well, I don't have any, so I can't do that. On each board, remove 1 blight from a land with at least 2 Dahan. So this is a shame. If we'd left those Dahan in there, we could have removed this blight. Oh well. As a guardian, we're sad, but we're also going to counterattack. So we kill everything off here, and here we get to kill 4 damage back. So we'll kill this city, which will hopefully stop any future cultural assimilations. 2, 3, and we'll kill off 1 of these explorers. And there we go. Now this land is still a problem for now, but since we dealt with the wetlands the previous turn by moving the explorers, they didn't build, so we solved that. Now let's see where they explore. Probably, I'm guessing sands might be okay, but let's see what happens. I'm calling it. I'm just calling it. The reason I said that is because we're not far from this one, and maybe we can use this again. It's not going to build anything more, and this one maybe we can go into. So there are options available. Let's see. So again, now I can't gain a new power card, which would be ideal. But I can go into another land. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add my presence into. Now the question is, where is the best place to add my presence? And seeing as this already has a Dahan in it, I may want to go there. And then since I've already got a sacred site set up near this land, I could utilize guard the healing land on this land, because it needs to be 1 range away. So I'm going to enter this land and try to natively defend it by having a sacred site. I don't usually do this, but I might go into the 3rd card play option. Let's do it. Let's do it. I usually go top track, but let's go card plays. So we still get energy. And look, we're getting a good amount of energy if we do it that way. Now, the question is, do we want to play a card this turn? Now, they're going to explore back into a land. If they explore back into mountains, we may be able to deal with them. It might be an idea to play this card such that we can deal with a land that is explored into and perhaps maybe deal with that explorer. It's overkill, but we've got the energy for it. And next turn, we're going to get energy again. Hopefully, only 2, but still takes us to 7. Way more than most spirits have at this phase of the game. So, and we'll have enough to play both cards if we want to. I think that's fair. Let's do that. I could equally do a Year of Perfect Stillness, stop this from growing at all. No, I'm going to save that. Okay. Let's see what the event does. Add 1 explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. Interesting. So I'll add it here because there's a... Is there a... Yeah, so I add it here. So I just looked ahead at the event thing. I'll add it here and then the beast will kill it. There you go. And each spirit with at least 3 Dahan among all its lands may use the slow power now. I do have 3 Dahan, so I could use this now. Ah, interesting. So I could actually cast this on this land and stop it from being an issue. So here's a point. Do I want to stop this from being an issue? Is it necessary? Yes, I'll still have an explorer there, because my intention is to defend the land, kill off the town with the help of the Dahan, but the explorer will still be there. Or do I want to use this later and stop at any future explorers, which was my initial plan? I'm going to skip using it now because I'm planning to use it for the explore stage. Let's see what happens. Okay, everything was built the way it was meant to, and jungles. Okay. Okie dokie. So... Well... Damn. Okay, so I still could use this on this land, get rid of this town and get rid of this explorer, because I actually can't use it on this land because there's no Dahan, and I can't use it on this land because I haven't got a sacred site. Really kind of hoping it would go into the mountains, honestly. Or maybe back into the wetlands, but there we go, we got jungles. Okay, so do I want to kill off the town here? Stop that from being an issue in the future, and then if it does re-explore it, builds a town, I could defend it. Do I want to deal with this? Do you know, I think I'm going to go here. I think this will naturally just be defended, so let it be defended. So I'll go here, and I'll kill off this town. It'll help generate my first fear card as well. There we go. Okay. So this next thing, pretty simple. I'm going to grow into this land so that I add the present, and I'm going to go bottom track. So now I've opened up my 3rd card play, and I'm going to gain a power card. Let's see what I get. Okay, so I can gain minor powers. That's always nice. I can gain more abilities. I can damage per blight. It's not that great. For each Dahan present, choose a different invader. 1 damage to each of these invaders. Okay. Okay. Kind of cool. It's a way maybe to get rid of lots of explorers in the land. And it's a way to manipulate Dahan as well. We do use Dahan. This could be quite helpful. This could genuinely be quite helpful, actually. If I used it this turn, I could move these guys into here and kill off this city. Yeah, okay, let's do it. So, we're going to play this, and we're going to play this. And look, we're playing 4 energy cards, and we still have 3 energy left over. This is pretty broken. Pretty broken. And because we've opened up 3rd card play, I could actually do Year of Perfect Stillness, but I'm not intending to do that, okay? Next turn, I'm probably going to reclaim, and I can jump into any of the lands, okay? So, the plan is going to be moving these guys into here, and then defending this land, and I'm natively defending here. That's the plan. Let's see if it works out. So we're underplaying again. So here, we're going to move these guys. We're going to push this, and we're going to push this, okay? And then we're going to defend this land for 4, and if it had blight, remove it. But it doesn't. Okay? Let's see what happens. Okay. Add 1 wild to a land without invaders. It builds in the land with the most towns and cities. Okay. So it will either build here or build here. Either of these are bad. Either of these are bad for me. So where do I not want it to re-explore into? Let's say don't explore here. And then here, oh gosh, whatever I do, whether I go here or here, blight will be added, which is a shame, a real shame. If I grow, I have to build. Oh, this really sucks. Okay. I mean, okay, at least this way I get to kill off something before the Dahan die. But that's really sad. They will die. At least one of them will die. And here, yeah, it will die as well. And my presence will be removed. So I have to go here, I'm afraid. Maybe my fear card can save me somehow. Okay, and they deal damage at the same time. Will I get another defense? Maybe. Okay. Push one explorer or town from a land with Badlands, Dahan, or a wild token. Fabulous. Okay, so that's actually saved me here. So I can move this into which land? Let's move this into this land because there's already a natural defense in this land. So let's move this one into here. Great. Absolutely fantastic. And here they're going to do 2 damage, so we'll kill this town off. Absolutely amazing. Okay. So we almost are on the... Oh, it worked. Oh, fantastic. So it would have explored into this wetland. And notice I created a pocket because I don't have... Here's the pockets. I like talking about pockets. Pockets, pockets, pockets. I created one because... So the only areas of the land that have towns in them are by the coast. There is nothing further out here. The wetland was explored into. You had no towns or cities nearby from which they could explore from, and no ocean. So we didn't explore. And this wetland didn't re-explore because I put the wild token in it. So great. Really worked out well for me. Now, however, this is going to ravage, so I need to deal with that. And if we get rid of this and maybe this, could we win the game? We're on terror level 1. Well, we need 2 more of these fear cards to do it. So we've got a ways to go still, but we're closer. We're getting there. Okay, so Year of Perfect Stillness, I could just cast on this land and stop it. Just stop it from doing anything. Now, I won't remove it, but I like the idea of reclaiming, perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. Let's reclaim. And now I can play up to 4 cards or open up the top strategy option. I'll have 5 card plays. With those 5 card plays, I could potentially block this, move these guys into here, and I won't be able to do any damage there, but I'll deal with that another turn. Okay, I like that idea. I'm going to open this up for future turns, not that I'll need it now. And I'm going to go into which land? This is going to be blocked using a defense card. Maybe I need to go into a land type that I haven't yet explored into. You know what, in case coastal lands come up again, maybe I'll go here where I've got more of a chance to deal because there's 2 Dahan. So maybe I'll do that. I'll play that there. And then what I'll do is I'm going to play this card. I'm going to play this card. And I suppose I could play this card as well, actually. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I should do this. Yeah, okay. So can you see it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this into... Now the question is, do I want to play this into here and move these 2 into there? I like this being where it is, just in case it needs to. So let's just move it there and move 1, okay? So I'll play this into here. I'll push up to... Oh, I could do 1 damage. That's an idea. I could kill off this land. Nah, I'm going to do what I was going to do. I'm going to push this Dahan into there. Then I'm going to defend this land for 4. There we go. Okay, so that doesn't affect me because I have no strife on the island. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with the beast. Well, I was getting lucky with the previous turns. I didn't this time. When invaders ravage, the land has Dahan defend 2. Oh, well, fantastic. That's what I was hoping for before, but hey, So that kills off that. And we are 1 fear card away from basically winning. As I said, if Coastal comes up. And it did. Okay. So this is going to be a bit of an issue. I might have to use Year of Perfect Stillness. Now what I could also do is drag things into this land and let it build up and then defend it. Yeah, I like that idea. So we're going to pull everything into this land. So we're going to pull this and we're going to pull this. And then we're going to pull this and we're going to pull this. Okay? Now, we can stop this from building. In fact, I maybe should have left one of those. One, 2, 3, so that's 6 damage. This will build a town. Let's do that. Let's go back a phase. Oh, I don't know how to go back individually. Ooh, let's see what happens. Wah! Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to do the same action, but I'm going to... Oh, of course, I don't have a Dahan in that land. What am I talking about? Sorry, my mistake. I thought I had a Dahan in this land. I'm talking crazy. I'm talking crazy! Okay, so of course I'll move these guys in. Yeah, there we go, sorry. Okay. I thought I had a Dahan, which would kill that town, blah, 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 but I didn't. Okay, so now I can put a natural defense into this land, which is great. That's kind of what I'm looking for, and I can set that up now. And I think that's probably a good idea, because... So now I'm opening up the top track. I'm getting more energy now, and I'm going to get a power card, and let's see what I pick up. Oh, nice, okay. I've got another defense card. And I've got a coastal card. Fantastic. So I can actually move this to another land. So we're going to do this. We are absolutely going to do this. So check this out. I'm going to play this card. We are going to play the coastal card, which will move this town into here. Which means everything will be in this land, and we'll have a town, a city, an explorer, 6 damage, 7, 8. I'll be able to defend this land and kill everything off in this land. There we go. That's my big brain play, okay? So remember, we're a guardian. We're trying to guard a particular area, the land itself. And we figured out a way to do it, okay? I was thinking of using Year of Perfect Stillness, but now I don't need to. Now, I could do rituals as well, and I could kill off this land. Or I could kill off things in this land. Let's do rituals, because then that way I maybe can actually deal with... And interestingly, you see, if I actually played a mountain and an earth plant card, I could repeat a 3-cost card again. But I can't play one because I don't have the energy for it. I could also, just if I played a plant card, I could actually repeat a 0-cost. But again, I can't do that. So let's do this. So here we are going to push. And we're going to push one of these into there. Okay? So let's see, what does this say? Add 1 blight to a land with towns and cities. Spirits may prevent this on any board by paying X energy per board to protect, where X is the number of cards in the invader discard. Oops, how many, what have we got in the invader discard? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I don't have that. I don't have 4 energy. So it's going to make me add a blight, which will mean, oh, that's annoying. I will lose a presence. That's okay. 1 damage to each invader and 1 damage to each Dahan. Remove 1. Okay, so I don't have that. Fine. In each spirit may add 1 Dahan to one of its lands with Dahan. Hey, fantastic. Let's add it. I've got more than enough Dahan there for now. Let's add it here. Okay. Especially if this explores again. If the actually, if the mountain explorer won't matter. Moves 1 from a land with Dahan. Ooh. It doesn't really matter here. Fine, we'll... let's do it from here. Okay. So they ravage in the wetlands, they build in the coastal, and... they go back into the wetlands, into the sands. Okay, interesting. So now, actually, this is a bit of an issue because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can only defend for 7. So I need to kill some stuff off here. So I'm actually going to use this in this land, and it will do 5 damage. And actually, do we win? Yes, we win, because I'll be able to kill off everything here. Okay. So it's a bit of an odd victory, but there you go. So 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we've met the... Oh! There we go. There we go. Because we got the extra fear, and now we generated that card. I was wondering it. And now we win. Fantastic. So, there we go. That is Vital Strength of the Earth. And I hope it kind of made sense a little bit what we were doing. We got a bit unfortunate there by having that blight added because of an event, but look at the island. We'll be able to see it here. Look how many sacred sites we've got. We had another one there. We had natural defense in the lands, and we were setting up a big counter-attack Dahan play, but it just so works out at that moment I had the ability to get rid of everything in that land and win the game by not having any buildings on the land. So, strengths and weaknesses. Basically some of the most powerful uniques in the game. He's an end game boss monster. He's naturally good at defense. He utilizes Dahan in a really good way. Like, they do what they do well, and he helps them do it the best way he can. Traditional defense baked in, and also traditional defensive tools, but he also has unrestricted blight removal. These are incredible strengths. As for weaknesses, really slow growing. His granddad. He's very expensive to begin the game with. Can't easily bolster his defense. You can't just add more presence and get more defense that way. So he relies on your other cards to help him with his defense. He also relies on the counterattack of the Dahan quite a lot. He can be very draft dependent, and we saw that in this game. In early game, he's really restricted. But you need to prepare a lot of the innate defense in order to not allow kind of problems happening. But you can't double grow quickly, so you need to think 2 steps ahead. If you can do that, fantastic. If you can't, you could struggle a little bit. But anyway, I hope you've really enjoyed this episode. It's been a pleasure making it. I hope to see you in the next episode, and as always, defend the island, and in the process, hopefully, save the Dahan. Keep spiriting, guys. Good luck, and God bless.